Have you ever noticed something weird? Sometimes the people who say, "I love you the most," end up hurting you the most. Strange, right? You'd think love would protect things. You love your phone, so you buy a case for it. You love your favorite shoes, so you keep them clean. You love your pet, so you take care of it. But when it comes to people, things get complicated. Somehow, humans have this strange habit of damaging the very things they care about. Friendships, relationships, dreams, even themselves. So why does this happen? Why do people destroy what they love? And more importantly, could you be doing it without even realizing it? Let's find out. Imagine this. You finally get the thing you've always wanted. A relationship, a dream job, a close friendship. For a while, everything feels amazing. Then something changes. You start worrying. What if I lose this? What if they leave? What if I'm not good enough? And that's where the problem begins. Because fear has a funny way of disguising itself as protection. The more afraid we are of losing something, the tighter we try to hold on to it. But sometimes holding too tightly is exactly what breaks it. It's like holding a butterfly. Hold it gently and it stays. Squeeze too hard and, well, the butterfly files a complaint. Think about relationships. Someone loves their partner deeply, but because they're scared of losing them, they become jealous. They overthink every message. They check who's liking photos. They turn into a part-time detective and a full-time FBI agent. The goal is protection, but the result? Distance. The fear of losing love slowly starts damaging the love itself. And the crazy part? Many people don't even realize they're doing it. But fear isn't the only reason. Sometimes people destroy what they love because they don't think they deserve it. This happens more often than you might imagine. Let's say someone grows up constantly hearing they're not good enough. Over time, that idea becomes part of their identity. Then one day, they find genuine happiness. Someone truly cares about them. Things are going well. But deep inside, a little voice whispers, "This won't last. They'll eventually leave. You're going to mess this up." And because the brain loves proving itself right, they start sabotaging things. They become distant. They create unnecessary arguments. They push people away, not because they want to lose them, but because losing them feels inevitable anyway. It's like throwing your ice cream on the ground because you're afraid it might melt later. Congratulations. Now you have no ice cream and you're sad. The brain can be surprisingly unhelpful sometimes. Another reason people destroy what they love is because familiarity feels safer than happiness. This sounds weird at first, but stay with me. Human beings don't always choose what's good for them. They often choose what's familiar, even if it's painful. Think about that friend who keeps returning to toxic relationships, or someone who constantly procrastinates on a dream they've wanted for years. Why? Because the unknown is scary. Success is unknown. Healthy relationships can be unfamiliar. Peace can feel unfamiliar. Sometimes people would rather stay in a familiar mess than step into an unfamiliar happiness. At least the mess feels predictable. It's like choosing the same terrible restaurant because you've already accepted the food will disappoint you. You know what you're getting. Humans are strange creatures. But there's another reason that's even more interesting. Sometimes love creates vulnerability. And vulnerability can feel terrifying. When you truly care about something, it gains power over you. If you don't care about a stranger's opinion, they can't hurt you much. But if your best friend says something hurtful, different story. The more important something becomes, the more it can affect you. And some people respond to that fear by building walls. They stop opening up. They stop being honest. They stop expressing affection, not because they don't care, but because caring feels risky. The logic goes something like this. If I don't get too attached, I can't get hurt. Sounds smart, until you realize you're avoiding the very thing you wanted. It's like buying a swimming pool and then refusing to swim because you don't want to get wet. At some point, the strategy stops making sense. Now here's where things get really interesting. People don't just destroy relationships. They destroy dreams too. Have you ever wanted something badly and then done absolutely nothing about it? Maybe you wanted to start a business, create a YouTube channel, get fit, learn a skill, and then somehow spent 3 hours watching random videos instead. We've all been there. The reason is often the same. Fear. Because as long as the dream stays a dream, it stays perfect. The moment you try, failure becomes possible. Rejection becomes possible. Embarrassment becomes possible. So some people unconsciously destroy their own goals before the world gets a chance to. That way, They can tell themselves, I never really tried. It's painful, but it feels safer, at least temporarily. The truth is, humans are not always driven by logic. We're driven by emotions, fears, habits, and old beliefs. Sometimes we hurt people because we're hurt ourselves. Sometimes we push away love because we're scared of losing it. Sometimes we sabotage success because we're terrified of failing. And sometimes we destroy beautiful things simply because we don't know how to handle them. But here's the good news. Awareness changes everything. Once you understand the pattern, you can start breaking it. The next time you feel the urge to push someone away, pause and ask, am I protecting myself or sabotaging something valuable? The next time fear tells you to quit on a dream, ask, am I avoiding failure or avoiding growth? The next time insecurity tells you you're not good enough, remember this. Your fears are not always facts. Sometimes they're just old stories your mind keeps replaying. And here's the biggest lesson of all. Love isn't destroyed in one dramatic moment. Most of the time, it disappears through tiny actions repeated over and over. Tiny fears, tiny doubts, tiny choices. But the opposite is true too. Relationships are strengthened through small acts. Dreams are built through small steps. Trust grows through small moments. The things we love don't usually need perfection. They need care. So if there's something valuable in your life right now, a person, a friendship, a dream, a goal, don't let fear convince you to destroy it before it has a chance to grow. Because sometimes the greatest threat to what we love isn't other people. It isn't bad luck. It isn't fate. Sometimes, it's the stories we tell ourselves. And the moment we stop believing those stories, we stop destroying what we love, and finally start protecting it. So here's a question for you. Have you ever pushed away something you actually cared about because you were afraid of losing it? Think about it. You might discover that the thing standing between you and what you love was never the world. It was fear wearing a very convincing disguise.